What's going on, kings and queens? It's another episode of Live to Be Remembered podcast with the squad. Fellas, how y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling?
What's happening?
Feeling great.
Yeah, man, feeling good. Another day.
I'm feeling good. I voted. And you know what? I didn't realize Kanye West's name was on there. That's all I'm
Man, you a fool, bro.
saying. No, it seriously, it was on my ballot. I had to Google some people because, I got a house in Tennessee. So I had to, do the mail-in ballot. And I'm like, I'm going to be calling people to make sure that, it ain't duplicated or nothing like that. But I was like doing it. I was like, his name really on the ballot. Like, he really, his name is really on there. He said he was going to run, but he didn't say he was going to win. He ran, dude.
I think Kanye can run. I think Kanye can run the nation, man. I think he can, though.
Well, he did run. I mean, his name was on the ballot. Like, I could have voted for him.
But you didn't?
See, the Lord told me, you know how people, that's, I didn't feel it in my seminar, so I couldn't do it.
The vice presidential debate come on tonight.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not watching that clown show.
Yeah.
I'm watching that one. Kamala Harris is a gorilla.
I thought you said the presidents again, because I was just one of them to just start fighting.
But you know what I don't like, man? I don't like when people get on social media and they start telling people who to vote for. And if they don't vote for them, God said this is the president. I'm like, yo. So God told you that the dude that's going to be the president of the U.S. can grab girls by the monkey. That's what you said. That's what you said. And listen, I ain't got no qualms against Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a great business. But when people get on there and start saying you need to vote for Trump, you don't vote, you got to deal with God. Have y'all seen any of that?
Oh yeah, of course. Republicans think they hold the principles of God, but they hold the principles of American God.
Man, facts. I don't want to go too deep down that rabbit hole because we'll eat that one up.
We're going to lose all our followers.
I only got 5 real ones. Rest are just fillers. I had 5 likes. That's my real followers right there.
Hey, let's go.
There you go.
Hey, man. 2 shout outs, man. Shout out to the birthday boy.
Hey, one time for the birthday.
Man, Shaquan, man, we love you. Hope you're enjoying your birthday.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you, fam. So, go enjoy your time, man. We'll see y'all next week for sure. And then,
hey, what he was like 20, 23, 25?
That man, he's 32.
yeah.
I ain't the oldest. Good. All right, cool.
Yeah, you should be the oldest with that.
All right.
But
it's that man down in the right-hand corner. First name start with a C, last name ended a J. I ain't saying no name.
Corey, you the oldest?
Yeah.
How old are you?
35.
Black don't crack, bro. Black don't crack, man.
Corey out here look like he's 22.
Yeah. And shout out to Jeanette. Man.
Yeah.
And shout out
y'all
to you out here killing the game. That video, she had to put Fabulous in it, man. Woo, I was like, let's go.
That was an Android phone too.
All right, man. Let's keep this podcast going. All right, Willie, man. Yeah, I know you got to talk about it. So talk about it.
Man.
Jump right into
Listen, bro. Let's talk about it, man. All right. So I just want to know. They saying no names, but what does it mean when people have Band-Aids on the back of their heels? Like, like they got flip-flops on, but they got Band-Aids on the back of their heel piece, like where you've been cut. Like, where'd that come from? How'd that happen?
Well, I could probably shed some light to that. I don't know how I know this.
You got Harriet Tubman feet, Corey?
Yeah. Yo, from my research and findings, I think women who wear high heels get calluses on the back of their Achilles, right?
Yeah.
So they burst, and so they put Band-Aids over. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have an open wound when they got these flip-flops on.
Oh, So that means they be trying to put their size 10 in a size 8.
Sometimes, or
Okay. I just, cause I was in the store and I was gonna post it. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. But I was like, she got 2 fat band-aids on the back of her heels, and I was like, how do you get that? Like, and I mean, it was just like, it's kind of like going into the store and people had the dusty feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you walking into the store with no shoes on? Like,
but
I
my question to you is though, how long were you staring at her heels?
That's what I
well,
want
I
to know.
mean, so see what happened was I just so happened to drop my wallet.
Oh, okay.
And as I approached, the situation at hand, I couldn't do nothing but notice it because it wasn't like, no blend in band-aids. It was like, you know what I'm saying, some big boys that like you put over stitches. So I was just like, okay, all right. Maybe she had some surgery or something, but I just wanted to know, how does that happen? I just want to talk about it.
Well, I'm glad you was concerned about her heels, man.
Yeah,
You are.
because heels matter, man. Heels matter.
I can't, yo. I can't. Really, man, you ain't doing no more talk about it. That is the weirdest talk about it.
Man,
Go on, say.
you can say what it had to be on. How you go? See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you want to see, that's what's wrong with people now. Oh, well, they want to just box you in because you got to talk about it. Now you got to talk about it a certain way. If it don't meet their standard, they want to cut you off. See, that's how people be doing.
I'd rather hear why she got one big eyelash and the other one is not so big versus a heel.
It's the same thing. You could heel, eyelash, it's all in the human body. It's all the same.
Yo, and you live on Facebook, so
I mean, people can relate to the heel having band-aids. Hey, I may be talking about it, but hey, Mr. CJ was able to tell me where it came from.
Hey, listen, I believe in educating my counterparts if they, lacking.
So that's what I'm saying. So if I'm lacking, allow me to have my talk about it moments because I'm lacking in areas. That's why I'm talking about it. I need to know.
Yo, that's a text. That's a text message for a phone call. We have millions of viewers. You see what I'm saying?
Corey, in the words of CJ, you can't cut me and tell me how to bleed.
I can't, yeah. Hey, he just used you against you, bro. Hey, that's it. You can't say nothing, bro.
Hey, that's why I say, be so original that people want to copy you, yo.
Hey. With that being said, let's jump into tonight's topic, man. The power of your no and protecting your peace. I just want to know, like, has any of y'all had to cut people off recently or this year? And what do you feel has been the difficult part of doing that? Anybody want to take that real quick? Have you had to cut anybody off this year? And how did you feel about it emotionally?
Go ahead, Montre.
No, I ain't had to cut nobody off like, yo, I'm done with you. That's it. I had to take a step back from people to give myself space to breathe and give myself space to grow. I did a video. I just talked about how saying yes to so many people could be their crutch. Like, you continue to say yes and you want to allow them to grow, so they continue to depend on you because you constantly telling them yes over and over and again. And I got people in my life that are like that. If you continue to allow them to basically take advantage of you, they're going to do that. They're not going to work on themselves if you continue to always be there. They're not going to pay for certain things if they know you're going to come out of pocket. Like, it's certain people like that do not want to grow because other people continue to pull them up all the time. And as a grown man, that's just something I'm like, yo, I'm at the point now, if you're grown, you're not my kid. Like, it's okay to be a friend, but allow you to grow at the same time. And one of my coworkers had asked me, she was like, what would you do if it's like a family member that really depends on you? And it goes to a certain extent. Like, you got to give people limitations on how far they can go with you when you're doing stuff for them. As a giver, I know that's hard to do, but at some point you're hindering people whenever you just can constantly tell them yes, yes, yes. So not cut people off, but I had to distance myself and allow them to do what they need to do without me jumping in and doing it for them.
Corey, what you got?
Yeah, sometimes what happens with me, man, it's a case by case basis, right? And so one case that I'm actually helping somebody in turns into a permanent scenario. And it's like, that wasn't meant for that to happen, right? Like, this was a case by case situation. You needed help at that time. You got the value that you need. Now you feel like you can reach out to me, call me, text me anytime you feel like it, when you want me to help you with an issue in your life. And so what I had to learn to do, man, is like pull back. Because people like to hit me, especially on social media. I'm too accessible to people. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm that guy that loves to give and loves to help, like it's taken away from a lot of my mental capacity. You know what I'm saying? For me to focus on what I got to focus on. And so I just stopped answering people, man. Like, people, hey, let's do business. You have 5 minutes to talk. And I will always say, yeah, I got 5 minutes. I'm always about business. And these business proposals are whack scheme jobs, man. So you keep adding up 5, 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. Next thing you know, you a full week in dealing with people. So I'm like, I'm not answering none of these 3-minute check-ins. I'm not doing no more of these. So as far as cutting people off completely, no. But I limit my I minimize their access to me.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate y'all cutting them people off because they be cutting into my time when I be calling, you know what I'm saying? Because I be having time to talk, you know, say if you got 5 to 10 minutes, you know, at bare minimum, you know. So, but I know for me, man, it's like I said, I don't really have to cut nobody off. I think it's more of just saying, hey, like, what's more valuable to me this year with everything going on? Like, what's on my priority list? And to be honest, I mean, it's still encouraging people, but at the same time, it was like, you know what, I'm gonna build a relationship, encourage people, and do it in a way to where it doesn't affect what I'm doing and everything else. So it's just like, you know what, I can dial back because there are some people that are, you know, not receptive as I want them to be, and that's fine. So that way I can just put that energy towards, you know, my circle, my friends, my family, people that's really walking with me to say, hey, like, let me go, like we talked about, like, back to the basics of what makes me feel good and feel happy. If it's, you know, instead of having a phone call, if it's me sending a 20-second video or a voice note, you know, like I'm in that space to where he's like, you know what, that's okay to know that that's enough. And I don't have to, you know, sit there and deal with people that want to give, you know, problems and not deal with the solution, and then keep, like you said, don't even answer. It's like one of those things where, you know, because we have our information out there, people just try to see what they can get, and before they can see what they get, it's like it's already a no, because we didn't dealt with those type of people already. We already know how to figure them out. Like it's like we know the game now. Like we too deep in for us to not even see it coming. Like I said, even God knew his Judas. So that means already we are equipped enough to know moving forward, we can already tell, okay, yeah, these people right here, yeah, I already know what I gotta do with them. Like I ain't even gotta, like, the fact that I don't even respond and talk to you, that gives you the ability to already know you're gonna cut yourself off because I'm not even responding. Like I'm not even tracking that you just sent me a message. Like, you know what I'm saying? And y'all see, I mean, let's be honest. On Instagram, you can see what somebody checked it. On Facebook, you can see what somebody checked it. You know, or your call log, and you can see it. So the fact that I ain't hit you up, and it's, you know, 3-4 days later, that already tells you, yeah, I'm not rocking with you. Like I've already stepped back and evaluated and had my self inventory that I don't need to entertain what you have going on because it doesn't benefit where I'm going and what I'm doing. So because of that, I'm going to decide to say, hey, you're gonna cut yourself off because I'm busy doing what I need to do, and I don't mind helping you get there, but you're gonna cut yourself off because you're not even on the same frequency. Like you can't, that's how we rocking right now. We on this, like, you can't be listening to R&B or listening to rap and I'm over here listening to jazz, and you trying to get on my frequency, and that ain't what I'm listening to right now. So now you done messed up everything because I'm over here trying to listen, to my jazz, and you trying to bring, your hip hop, and it's all rah 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 rah. I'm like, nah, I'm not on the moment tip right now. I'm on some, some Beethoven. Help me out, Montre. I don't know the other jazz people. Don't be looking at. I don't know the jazz people. Shut up.
Hey,
Beethoven.
is it me? Is it me? Or does Willie responses get longer and longer each week we do a podcast?
Hey, shut up. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey, he a high flamingo, dog. He know we gonna talk, bro. My boy gonna get lit. Hey,
I'm gonna go last from now on. I can talk. I'm gonna go last.
If I get in your car and you got Beethoven on, I'm walking, fam.
hey, but you know what's funny about that though? Sometimes you got to turn your back to the crowd to lead the orchestra. Just saying, dog. So as far as that piece, Montre said something, and Corey said something. Being too accessible, but also being a giver. And sometimes it's hard when you're a giver to say no because it's just in your blood. You just love to give. And sometimes it can get to the point where you're giving so much and you're like, yeah, I know it's going to come back to me, but it's like, yo, I'm enabling people. I'm really enabling people. Like, for instance, I'm pretty sure you guys get it when somebody comes, in your messages and DMs you and just asks you for quick information. And maybe for Montre, a quick speaker tip, or maybe for you, Corey, counseling or, money management skills. And they may ask you, and then they feel like, okay, if I did it one time, maybe I can come back again. I did another time, maybe I can come back again. And for me, I just had to set that boundary, to be honest with y'all, man, and just be like, yo, like Corey said, I'm leave them on read. I'm just being real. Like, I'll leave you on read. And I mean, to you, it's rude, but to me, it's like, come on now. Like, I already told you one thing. And now you're really trying to take advantage of me, trying to keep coming back for more and more and more. And what I realized is that because I was trying to help everybody, I was going insane. I'm trying to help everybody. I'm going insane. I'm losing my peace. So that's why I had to say to myself, I had to start saying no. And sometimes you don't physically have to say no. Sometimes just leaving people on read is letting them know, like, no. And what I also learned as well is, learn how to say no without explaining yourself. I ain't got to explain myself to you. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, all of us, we're husbands, we're fathers. And it's like, yo, yeah, I'm helping you. But at the end of the day, you're taking time away from my family. Or you're taking time away from what I'm trying to do, create content or build the business or build the brand. And I'm not trying to be in that kind of world where people continue to take. And then when you come and ask for something, they're nowhere to be found. So for y'all, man, like, where do you set the boundary at? What does that look like for you when you're like, you know what, like, this is it. I'm done. I'm not doing this no more. Like, what does that look like for y'all, those boundaries?
I set it at the moment that the other person is inconsiderate of me. So the minute you want something from me, but you haven't considered what situation I'm in. So for somebody, let's just use an example. For somebody that asks you for, money, and they ask you the week of Christmas, that's being inconsiderate because you don't understand that I have a daughter, and you should know that this is around the time when money gets at its tightest. So why would you ask me to borrow money, but you have yet to take me into consideration? Now, for people who may be like, I know that you're busy, I know that you're doing this, but when you have time, can you help me out with this? When you have time, can you do this? Whenever you're free. So people who take me into consideration, they take my feelings in consideration. I can give all day. But the minute you cross those boundaries of where it's just about you and it ain't mutual anymore, that's when I know I got to take a step back. Because I only can give when I have something to give. So you can't expect me to just go overboard for you when there's nothing being done for me. So when the relationship is mutual, I can give all the time. I have no problem, like in my community, giving, because it's always mutual with the people that I run with. But if you're taking advantage of me and you haven't considered my schedule, you haven't considered my family, you haven't considered my mental health, then no. That's when I started to say no.
I love it.
Yeah, boundaries is something I still struggle with. Montre hit on it. He said, when you're a giver, I mean, I've been giving my entire life, right? And time is one thing that I always give to people outside of everything else I've given. And so I'll have people hit me up and talk to me about a certain situation, personal situations, ask for my advice. I take the time to give them the advice that they're looking for. But then what I start to do is I start to notice the emotional state of the people that I'm dealing with. And when a person is emotionally driven and broken, they're going to continue to come and seek attention or seek advice from you because you're giving them real stuff. Once they are over that emotional breakdown, you don't hear from them no more, right? So I'm starting to look at people's emotional state and say, all right, what type of mental place and emotional state are they in? How much time is this going to require me? Will this potentially lead into a client? If not, you're getting maybe 1 or 2 strategies from me, and that's it. I don't have time to give you an hour worth of counseling for free. And it has to be good because you keep coming back. You will hit me one day and then you'll be like, dang, that was good. Then you'll come back another day and it's like, as much as I want to help you, I can't keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a family to feed. I want money in my pocket. And no, everything is not business for me, but everything is business for me at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? We can do the little chit chat. I can make you feel good in the moment. But after a while, it's like, nah, man, I got to cut you off. So I'm still balancing that right now because I don't want people to walk away bleeding. I want to kind of try to patch people up, but then I end up bleeding, bleeding my time.
That's good. So for y'all, man, like, because you know we've been rocking for quite a while. What is let's let the listeners actually, you know, kind of get an inside look. Like, what does that look like? Us building trust together and us saying no to each other. Like, what does that look like? Like, I just want to ask that question because I mean I think we can give a better example with that too. Like, for instance, I know like with Montre, y'all know that, you know, he's a phenomenal leader. And he takes care of a lot of the calls for me. And there's been times when Montre was like, yo, I can't do it. Now, most individuals will get in their feelings and be like, bro, what do you mean you can't do it? You know what I'm saying, Corey, Montre, and Willie? Like, what do you mean you can't do it? There's been times when Willie like, I can't do it. As an individual, for me, I don't take that. I'm like, yo, first of all, if Montre never does nothing else for me, or if Willie never does nothing else for me, or Corey never does nothing else for me, they've done enough for me. You feel what I'm saying? So when any of y'all tell me no, I know you're not telling me no just to say no. I know you're probably doing something that you're like spending time with your wife or going on vacation or doing something for your community. So like, how do we get to that level of building that trust and being able to say no? Because there's been times that we've said no to each other. And it's like, you know, we don't get in our feelings about it, but other people who are, whether like Montre was saying, like the relationship's not mutual, they get in their feelings. You know what I'm saying, Corey? They're like, well, who's this person to tell me no? But I think a lot of people get in their feelings because they're focused on them. And it's not about you, especially if somebody's taking time to come and help you and what you're trying to do. And you don't have to do it. Montre ain't got to do nothing. Be honest, none of y'all have to be on this podcast. I'd be here by myself. But we all came together and we like, yo, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it work. And we've been making it work ever since. But there's been times where Corey couldn't make it, Willie or Montre, like, it happens. But I don't get in my feelings. We don't get in our feelings. So how do we, like, you know, talk to the audience about that? What does that look like in your head, guys?
I mean, I think it boils down to our relationship and what we've established over the year. I mean, you know, over the year almost, I've been rocking with you. You know, just having those radically candid conversations, really getting the opportunity to know one another, share some of our struggles with one another, knowing where we need help and where we're struggling at. I think just being open and vulnerable with one another, we were able to build some type of camaraderie and rapport with one another that if we did say no, we know it's not coming from a place of spite or bitterness, but it's really something genuine. Right. Because we understand the dynamics of family. We understand being family oriented and all these things that we discuss and talk about. as brothers on the podcast, and see, that's the thing too. This, what y'all see right now, this is not just what we do. We got each other's phone numbers. You know what I'm saying? I'll pick up the phone. I may call one of these fellas like, yo, what's happening? What's going on? How you feeling? So it extends far beyond social media. And I think that's why if one of us say, no, I can't do it, then we have that understanding because we really rock with each other as brothers for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, I just see Will on social media. I'm going to say something to him. I don't even know the dude from, the cat know the dog. And if he say no to me, I'm going to feel some type of way. It's like, no, I know him. And he's so consistent in what he does, missing one time ain't going to kill me. Or him telling me no, it's not going to kill me because I know something really important came up where he could not be there. So I'm cool. And that's how I rock with him.
I love that. You paint that Picasso. Yeah.
I would say if you bring some to the table, you will never go hungry. And I say that because every last one of us brings something to the table.
Wait. I'm not gonna let that ride, bro. Like you gonna have to. Oh, what?
Like if you bring some to the table, you'll never go hungry. Like here's the thing. Like if we was to have a cookout and somebody was to just show up with nothing, right? And then Willie bringing all the food and Willie don't show up. Now everybody's hungry because everybody counted on Willie to bring the food. We don't have that problem. Everybody brings some to the table. So if Willie don't show up with the chips, we still got food. It ain't rocket science. Like if you want to roll with a certain group of people, if you want to be connected with powerful people, the only thing they ask you to do is bring something to the table. Because if I ain't got nothing, I can count on you. The same way you want to count on me, I want to count on you. It may not even be on a professional level. There's people I roll with that I can't count on to speak if I can't speak, but I can count on them to do something if I need done. I can't count on them to talk to if I got mental health problems. I can't count on them if I'm going through something. So whenever you bring something to the table, you always gonna build that trust with people because you're always needed in the circle where you bring something. But there's so many people, you just want to go to every cookout and you want to make a plate and you want to leave. But at the end of the day, if you didn't show up, everything is cool. But the person that bring the food, if they didn't show up, everybody's going to be hungry. So the fact that we built that trust is because everybody brings something to the table. So the fact that my brother couldn't be on here tonight, he usually brings something to the table. We just ain't got the macaroni and cheese, but we still gonna be full.
Dang.
Hey, my Trey, I gotta send you this so you can chop that up and throw that.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that was
Hey, go ahead, Willie.
Nah, bro, I don't know. I just yeah, that part. Now I think that's why it's easy for us to say no so easily because we already know what's in our circle. That if I can dictate that you don't have anything to bring to the table, I don't even want to introduce you to people that I have that bring stuff to the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to waste our time knowing that you don't even bring to the table because then it makes me look like my credit is bad because you like, wait a minute, you sent this person to me and you know what I'm about and I trust you enough to know what I'm about and you send this person to me? Like what you got going on that you ain't paying attention? And like Montre said, to be considerate, to know that you gonna send this person to me a week before Christmas. Like what you doing? So for me, I have to know that say, okay, I know enough about each one of my brothers. I know about each one of my friends in my circle to know that if you can't get past me, you won't even get to them. And if I find out you got to them, I'm gonna make sure that it get turned down. So I'm gonna say no for them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I am. Like if I find out that somebody done reached out to one of y'all and they done got past me, I'm like Peter, like somebody ear getting cut off because that ain't about to happen. Because you ain't about to even mention my name, knowing that you trying to use my circle against me, knowing that you gonna go around me to get to them. I'm not doing that. My squad don't even rock like that. And it's funny because we so tight to where if you even try it, I'm gonna get a phone call, be like, hey, you know this person? I'm right. You know, like instantly. Like somebody gonna get a phone. It's a back signal. It's gonna go off in the sky, and it's gonna be like, hey, do you know this person? And if I say one word, it's like, say no more. All right, I handle it. Like that. That's how tight you gotta be to be able to know that even my squad know for me. Like if I tell my squad like, hey y'all, I got this, and if somebody say no, all right, I ain't say no more. Like I have to trust my squad enough to know that they can tell me no because, like Corey said, it's coming from a place of love and being able to take that criticism and say, hey, like I love you enough to hurt your feelings, but not your life. So I'm gonna end up telling you no because that ain't like you may see something that I don't see and I missed it because you know how vulnerable I am to something that I'm about to say yes to. When you know, like, nah, that's gonna get you in a lot of trouble, bro. Like, don't do that one. Don't do that one. So that's why you need to be able to know that your squad is gonna say no to things that you want to say yes to because they see something that you don't see, and they're gonna hold you accountable to it because you got people that'll just let you go do it and be like, you messed that up. All right, now it's my turn. Like we ain't doing that. Like we don't have to do that because like he said, we have enough to eat. So why do that when we all gonna get full? You know what I'm saying? Like we on some next level stuff. Like we beyond eating. We be like, hey, what's some things we need to fast from? You know what I'm saying? Like forget. I'll be on like who got the toilet paper? Like you know what I'm saying? I'm going next level. Like you know I know we gonna eat. So because I know y'all got to eating, I gotta figure out okay, is the bathroom clean? Like it's the stuff behind the scenes done so we can keep moving forward. So that's what it is for me, man. That's some good points, bro.
That's good, Willie. And you know we gotta keep this fire lit because Trey said something. No Chaco. It's the little new thing, whatever it is. But you know, and even with that too, man, it's like you know, y'all know we all have that one family member who come to the cookout, don't bring nothing, and leaves with everything. I mean, like this. I'll see y'all next week. I'm like, wait a minute. You didn't even bring no plastic forks. But you came and took the mac and cheese, the collard greens, the chicken. You didn't contribute to nothing. And, you know, that's why I'm glad for us. We've learned the power of our no because it protects us from individuals like that. Like, if you don't bring nothing to the table, you can't sit at the table, period. And even if nobody, and even if there's a day where my trailer, yo, I ain't even got nothing to bring to the table. Or of course, I ain't got, we are so in sync. We like, yo, don't worry about it, bro. I got you, bro. What you need? Like, eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it's about. It's about building camaraderie and building, you know, that effective relationships, man. And I'm just honored to be able to, you know, rock with y'all because y'all are phenomenal fathers, husbands. Forget about the titles. You're just phenomenal fathers, husbands, community activists, man. And, you know, every time I'm on social media, I'm like, yo, like, the growth is crazy, dog. I mean, like, stupid crazy. I'm like, if y'all don't know who these individuals are now, best believe you're going to know who they are in a couple years. I mean, for real, for real. So it's just for me, you know, going back to, you know, the message at hand, it's like, yo, I feel so much peace. And I know y'all feel so much peace to the fact where you're like, it felt good to say no. Because now I can take that hour that I was going to be on the phone with this individual, right, Corey and Trey, and spend time with my daughter or spend time FaceTiming my sons. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with you, my Trey, and your daughter, man, and you, Corey, with your daughters and your wife. Like, for us, that is the true level of success. Like, my Trey's wife started a brand new business out here killing the game. Shout out to Serenity. Let's go.
Right? I need my shit.
Right? Corey's daughter got her own, you know, nails and stuff like that. Man, I'm like, yo, like, this is what success is. It's not about, it's about how you can help your family progress. That's what true leadership is. So if you're listening to this right now, we take pride in what we do, but we have no problem saying no. But if you come to any of us one time, we may be like, okay. But anything after that, it's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know, because you're not taking my feelings into consideration, like my Trey was saying. So,
and that's so dope. And I want to go back. There's a couple points I want to make. One, for y'all who listen, owe nobody a yes. You know what I'm saying? You don't owe anyone a yes, but you do owe yourself a no. Because I think we got this misconstrued, right? We are taught to tell everybody else no. But no, you got to tell yourself no sometimes. No, I'm not going to every single day. No, I'm not on social media every day. No, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing that. You owe yourself a no. You know what I'm saying? And because sometimes we get so caught up in the yeses that we forget that there is a no on the inside of us that we owe ourselves. And my thing is, I start tapping into my no. Like, no, I'm not going to be posting. I'm not getting on social media for the next 2 weeks, posting nothing. I felt so good because I took control of my environment. I took control of my mental space. I took control of everything that I gave to everybody. I got it back and said, no, I'm not doing it. And I wasn't telling people no. I was telling myself no. Some of y'all sitting there and you letting your no that's on the inside of you expire. And you burning yourself out. You're going crazy. You're losing your mental health. You're emotionally breaking down because you got a no sitting on the inside of you that you won't activate. And your no is not that. You don't have to tell everybody no. The no starts with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes we sit there and wait for somebody to say, oh, can you do this for me? And you waiting on that opportunity to give them a no. Before they even come to you with anything, already have made up in your mind what your no's are going to be. No, I'm not spending 45 minutes on the phone with you for nothing, for free. No, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing that. And so that's what I tapped into, man. And I believe it's so essential that we do that so we can continue to grow as people. And I want to take it all the way back to what Martre said about if you bring something to the table, you will never go hungry. Listen, be so good at what you do, people know when you come around, you're going to have something. But if at that moment you don't, they going to excuse you anyway. They're going to say, every time he come, he brings something, so he good. He ain't got to bring nothing today. That's how dope you got to be. But when others validate you and say, you know what? Every time that he come, he's solid. So if he ain't got nothing today, it's all good. Let us take care of him now. So, but those ones that don't never come, you know what, Will? They playing their role.
Right.
They playing their role. The people that never come with nothing, they doing exactly what they're supposed to do, not bring nothing and mooch off of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But the only way to turn the mindset of a person like that around is don't allow them to mooch off of you. Tell them, hell no, not just no. Hell no, get up out of here.
Hell to the no.
No. Nothing. Because as long as they can take 4 or 5 plates home rocking aluminum foil, they're going to keep coming to the barbecue like that. But once you start saying, here, let me get 4 of them plates off of your show.
Let's go, Corey.
You know what I'm saying? You get a half a salt, a piece of brisket. Now you can go about your business. You're not taking a whole meal, and you didn't even bring a plastic knife.
Let's go. That's how funny, bro.
How we got to come at people, man, for real.
Yeah, because guess what? Those people that's mooching over you, even if aluminum foil ain't there, they still going to find a way. They still going to find a way, bro. How crazy is that? Like, oh my God. They don't even find, you ain't got aluminum foil, they still going to find a way to leave with what they came for. You see what I'm saying? And that's what he was saying. Like our circle is so in tune with each other to where it's like, even if you forget something, I'm so in tune with all of y'all to where I already know what you're going to bring, and I'm going to bring it just because I know that's what you would have brought. And then you probably would have forgot it. You'd be like, dang, I forgot it. Like, no, bro, I got it over there. You'd be like, dang, how you do? Because we in sync like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how that operates. You know, like I said, like Corey said, he took his 2 weeks. Like, we operate so well together to where when he said it, I was like, bro, you know what? I'm gonna do it with you. You know what I'm saying? Cause you're my boy. You know what I'm saying? And bro, like something that he did helped me out because I was like, I was in my pride. I needed a break, but I was like, nope, I'm gonna keep putting out this stuff. And then next thing you know, my boy said it. I was like, you know what? He got a point. Like, that's my dude. I'm gonna do it with him. So something that he was doing that wasn't gonna tell nobody, but because we personal, I made a phone call. It was like, hey, you know what? We can do this. Like, he was doing it. He didn't say, hey, Will, you want to? Nah, I was like, bro, like, you good? He was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna take. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing, bro. So by him doing it, it helped me out because he knew what to bring to the table. So if he's doing it and he in my circle, what I got to lose? Nothing. Well, I'm not doing it, and I know I need to, and my boy doing it. What you mean? Like, say less. So like you said, when we always bring something to the table, I knew by him doing that and being in tune with him, he was going to bring something to the table that was going to mean so much more in the effect to where this month, by me doing that, I was like, bro, I needed that because this month is very emotional for me because my sister passed away from breast cancer. So I was like, I needed that 2 weeks to be like, all right, let me get myself together while she speak to me in my dreams and talk to me and say, hey, push this out. This is what you need for this month. All month, you just do this. But I wouldn't have got that if I wasn't in tune with my family and my boys to say, hey, you know what? Like, I know who to depend on, like Montre say, like I know who to call for certain things. Don't mean I got to tell everybody in my circle. I just like, okay, he good in this area, let me call him for that. He good in that area. And I know I won't get no's because I know my circle. I know my people. I know who I am to say, hey, this is my squad for a reason. God has strategically put these people in my life for a purpose. And if I don't allow that to happen, I'm going to lose out on the no's and the yeses and take it away from y'all when I shouldn't. And that's what happened. People are in your life to learn the lessons and the no's and the yes and the hell no's. But if you sit there and take away the option for that to happen, you're going to keep saying yes. That's why it's hard for people to say no. Because there are people that are strategically, like Corey said, they here to play their role. So if I'm this person to play my role and you don't let me play it, guess what you're going to say to me? Yes, because you're not letting me play my role. For you to tell me no, because I'm gonna keep coming until you say hell no, and then I'm gonna understand you. So no.
And for my turtles out there that's like me, like Corey said, you also have to learn how to say no to yourself. But then again, on the flip side, you have to learn to say yes to some people. I remember probably about a year and a half or 2 years ago, like I invited family over and I was gonna cook. Like I was gonna cook for the family, everybody come over, come eat at my crib. And I didn't realize how much energy and money that took. And when you think about Thanksgiving, right, like grandparents, like they in the kitchen the night before and they slaving, they cooking everything. And it's like I'll ask my grandma, like, Grandma, you need some help? And Grandma like, nah, baby, I got it. Enjoy yourself. And you think about that, like, how many people are weighed down and drained because you keep telling yourself, yes, I can handle this, instead of telling yourself, no, I really need help, and accept the help that's coming to you. So that's one of my problems as a turtle sometimes is I don't say yes to people that can't help me. I'm the, yeah, I got it person. Like, yeah, don't worry about it. I got it. I'll take care of it at work. Like, yeah, y'all sit there and take a load off. I'll take care of it. And sometimes that drains me and weighs me down by not letting other people actually bring something to the table by trying to take care of everybody around me. So for my turtles out there, if you struggle with that, stop doing that.
Yeah, that's good, Trey. And one of the things that I definitely want to say is that one thing that I learned was that when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Let me say that one more time for the back row of the church. When you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else, right? So for now, when I make a decision, I don't make a decision based on William. I make a decision based on my daughter, my wife, my kids, and my family, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like we don't do what we do for us. You know what I'm saying? We do what we do for our families and, for the squad. So when you make those decisions, and sometimes I feel people can get so desperate that they say yes, and they don't understand the hell that comes behind saying yes. Like you said yes because it looks like a good amount of money, but you don't know the hell that you got to go through, right? Like there's been certain contracts, Corey, Montre, and Willie, that schools are trying to do, and I'm like, so you're gonna do this, and I can't talk about this, I can't do this. I'm not doing that at all. I'm not doing that. No, absolutely not, because if I can't flow freely how I am, you're not going to control me. And yes, it hurts saying no because of the income, but I'm like, I'd rather keep my peace, my sanity, and continue to work the way that I work and be that leader and say, you know what? I don't have to take every opportunity because I'm not desperate. I'm not in a place in my life where I have to say yes to all of that. I want to do the opportunities that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like we always talk about, let me make the option of what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to force it on me. So, I just learned, man, I'm so happy, bro. I don't know what it is, man, but because for me, it was hard. Like if you ask me, the stuff that we're talking about now, it would be hard for me to say no, Trey, Corey, and Willie. It would be hard as hell. I'd be like, nah, I want to help you. I put this cape on And then when I take the cape off, I ain't got no superhero helping me, but I'm over here trying to help everybody, right? So, you know, before you even think about helping somebody, you need to actually think out the process. As Corey says, think out the process. Like, okay, you're going to help them, but what's the end result? Can this individual help you? What are they bringing to the table? Why are they there? Because the truth of the fact is some people just want to bring their problems to you to have something to talk about. And for us, we're not about problems. We're about solutions. So just understand, if you're listening to this, man, when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Think out the process before you say yes to something.
Yeah, that's key. Seeing the picture all the way through, right? Because you're going to devote not only your time, you're going to devote energy, you're going to devote mental space, you're going to devote a lot of things in one yes. And some of us, our next season is linked to another. To be honest, real talk. And I love what Montre said. Sometimes you have to say yes as well, right? I'm like that too, Trey. Like, I don't allow people to help me. Hell, if I'm gonna be transparent, I don't like nobody helping me, to be honest. Like, I'm prideful in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that I know people can help me with, but I'm like, no, I got that because I don't want to expose any weaknesses in my armor. So I won't ask for help, right? That's just the man thing in me. But I'm learning, man, the more you accept help and accept, you know, the yeses from other people, the longer and better the life you can live. Because you're not killing yourself trying to do everything. Right. You know what I'm saying? You're not killing yourself to trying to figure everything out. And the beautiful thing about all this that I love is that we get to decide when we want to say yes and when we want to say no. We get to decide if we're going to accept help and if we're not going to accept help, right? That's the beautiful thing about it, because nobody's got a gun to our head saying, you better say no at this point, you better say yeah here. No, you get to decide. And I think in life, that's what life is about. Figuring out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what you like, what you don't like, right? That's what life is all about. And so for me personally, going forward, man, I'm most definitely going to start allowing people to help me. I'm going to start tapping into, you know, a part of me that I usually tap into. And that's that part of me being vulnerable, saying, yes, I need help. Yes, I need help. I can't do it on my own. Like, y'all, we all wear capes. We have to wear capes. We're husbands and fathers. But at some point, you got to take your cape off, and you got to be the person that the hero comes and saves.
That's big, Corey. Yeah. If y'all ain't listening and y'all ain't just hear what this grown man just said at the age that he is at, that he's saying, hey, I'm human, and there are some things that I still need to work on, and I'm going to allow them to be worked on by me moving out of the way and just saying, you know what, I've had that conversation with myself to say yes. And that's what he was saying. Like, you got to understand, like, that happens when you have the conversation with yourself. And when you have it with yourself, like I said, you'll realize you having it with not just yourself, you're thinking about, you know, your family, your boys, your crew, whatever. Because when he made that decision, he just told us what we need to do without telling us what we need to do. Like, straight up, like, you know, like we just activated something within ourselves just now on this live that each and every last one of us had to tap into something to know, okay, he just said something, we called it, we got it, now we got to apply it. And that's what you got, like, but he had to have a conversation with himself to allow us, like you said, we get to decide. That's the fact that I love about this, because we can have conversations to say, hey, should we take this? Let's have a conversation and really say, should we take this person or should we not take this person or this gig or that gig? The fact that we get to do that, that's what we'll say we have so much peace. And to be real with you, we didn't have this peace before because we was trying to figure it out to say, man, what why do I feel tight? Why I feel tense? Like, why I feel like I'm doing everything? You know what? Because it took one of us probably to say, hey, you know what? You carrying too much. Like, let me get that. And then when he takes it, it's like, okay, now I'm carrying too much. Then Montre takes it. He's like, you know what? Now it's a domino effect. But what happens is we get to the masterpiece of it and really say, hey, you know what? Like, we didn't got to this point because we had those conversations. Not surface level. It's having those conversations to say, hey, I know what I'm dealing with. And like Corey and Will always say, we got to get to the root of the issue once this call is over with. Like, we can talk all day long, but if we're not applying what we're saying, you're going to see it in what we're doing. And so that's why we're able to go to new levels where y'all thinking we not leveling up, but internally you can't see that we just leveled up because you don't hear what we're saying to each other without actually telling, hey, I need you to do this. Like, when you say it, it's already out there for us to do it. We just have to catch it and say, hey, I got you, bro. Yeah. Like the trust fall is real out here, but it's only real until you open up and say, hey, as a man, I am struggling with this right here, and I'm going to allow myself not to be bound anymore, to say, hey, I trust y'all enough. When I knew coming into it, I had trust issues. Y'all know that. So now I need y'all to be there more than ever to say, hey, I'm going to deal with me saying yes to something I've been saying no to for a long time. So that's big, man. Like, I love you, Corey. Like, straight up, bro. Like, people don't even catch that, don't even know it, but you just said something that was key. I caught it. I picked up what you was putting down. I got it.
Hey. Hey, one thing that I definitely want to say too, when you talked about loads, Willie, when I first asked Montre and Willie to help me with the program, I and they'll contest to this. I said, "Can you do this?" I made sure that I made sure I was making sure that they were good. And I know what I'm saying, because I'm not going to be the individual that's going to put more on somebody than, you know what I'm saying, than they should have. And when I asked Montre, I was like, Montre, are you good with this? Man, this boy been going, what, almost 2 years strong? Like, consistent? And it's like, I'm like, I took his feelings in consideration because I understand not only as doing the calls, but the other stuff that he does. You know what I'm saying? He's the Martin Luther King of Virginia. You feel me? Yeah. So it's like, when I asked him, he's like, bro, I got you. I was like, okay, cool. And then when I asked Willie, man, that boy, the consistency goat, because I'm like, Willie, are you sure now? Willie, if y'all don't know, Willie does 3 calls a month. Literally 3 calls a month, back to back, faithfully. And I mean, like, and then even when I asked Corey to jump in, Corey like, yeah, bro. Or Corey be like, nah, Negro, I can't do it this week, but if you need me next month, I got you next month. But all I'm trying to get to is the fact that I asked them as men, like, are you guys good carrying this load? And I was carrying that load for years, bro. Imagine doing 8 calls a month, burning myself out, and then God sent me help. So now it's like,
I'm gonna cut you off, bro. I'm gonna cut you off. Montre can attest to this. Montre can attest to this. Before you even asked us, a phone call was already reached where me and Montre was already talking, saying what we was gonna do. Am I lying, Montre?
Thanks.
Bro, like, I had already reached out to Montre. I was like, bro, we're gonna have to help Will out. Like, I didn't even know what it was, but because I was so in tune with what you was doing, I was like, bro, like, me and you gonna have to do something. I don't know what it is. But we had already had a conversation about doing our roles for you. So when you came with it, that's why you was just like, why is it so easy for them? Because we were so in tune that we already knew what to do. That's why I said, you say stuff. All of us have little things when we say stuff. It's a cry for help. It's a cry like, hey, I need y'all to have my back. You may not say, because we know as men we don't really, like Corey said, we don't show ourselves vulnerable to say that, but that's what we really want to say. So there's other words that we implement and say, hey, like, are y'all like, we was like, bro, man, we already had a conversation and you never knew anything about this. We never said anything about it. But I had to bring it to existence because I was like, bro, we had already had the conversation. Yeah. We already had the conversation about doing it.
Yeah, and I mean that's just I was like, like, it's carrying a load. But I mean, like, God sends you the right people at the right time to help you. And the love is mutual. If it, like, Montre hit us up many times, Montre like, can you? I'm like, bro, what? Honor. Corey may hit me up, honor. Willie may hit me up. Willie be doing 100 million. I'll be like, bro, I got you, man. But that's what it's about. The love is mutual. And again, going back to Montre said, we all bring our own unique stuff to the table. And Willie said too, even if you forget it, you still already know what I was supposed to bring. And you like, I got you, right? So, man, phenomenal podcast, man. Corey, you got anything to say? Look like you ready to rip, bro. You got it?
No, only thing I would say is, you know, Will does, you know, he does ask for help when he needs it. You know, and there's been times he asked me, and there's been times I was able to do it, and times I've done it, I loved it, and there's times I'm like, I can't do it, bro. My schedule is jam-packed, right? Yeah. And then also, too, full disclosures, like when he asked me about certain days, I'm like, man, I know those days are designated to people, and I don't want to cause any rift. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even step into some of those days. I'm like, those days have already been solidified by people that's been doing it for a long time. Yeah. So I don't even want to impose. So I'll be like, nah, I'm good, fam. But he knows if he hits me and he needs something for real, like, I got his back. You know what I'm saying? I think that, because at the end of the day, we don't have to rely heavily on one another because we can hold our own weight, right? That's fine. But what we do is we enhance one another. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We push one another to grow. Like when I hear, you know, these guys speak, it pushed me to go deeper into my bag and say, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like a challenge for me. You know what I'm saying? Their greatness challenges me to be even greater. Mm. And so sometimes it's like, that's what you need in your life, man. You need those type of people in your circle that their greatness is going to challenge you to go deeper in your bag and come out to be even greater, right? Because if you're just the go-to person in your circle, then you need to grow some more.
That's fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're the go-to person in your circle, that means that you ain't growing, you ain't trying to grow because you like being on top. No, put me back at the bottom of the totem pole so I can learn something from somebody else. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then level up that way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, my man, know if anybody asks me like, Jones, man, I need you to do this, I'm there. If I can be there, I'm most definitely gonna be there. I got on the call when I had COVID. You know what I'm saying? I could have been laying down, but my man said, we got this podcast. I'm committed to this team. I'm committed to these guys. When I signed up, I said, this is what I'm gonna do. COVID, y'all. And it wasn't nothing to play with. I was fatigued. Yeah. But I did it because I said, I'm gonna be here for my guys, man. And that's what it's about for me.
Michael Jordan. Ha! Michael Jordan, baby. Hey, man, let's leave him with the legacy gem, man. Anybody can take it. I don't really care, man. Anybody got a legacy gem?
My Trey got it. His wheels are spinning, and I see it.
No, I'll just say my dad told me when I had trouble with, you know, receiving help is it's disrespectful to not let givers give. Mm. So if givers want to help you, let them help you because that's what they want to do.
Man, did your dad send you an invoice on that? Because that's deep. They'll cash them out, bro.
Hey, but I am getting my dad to come out to more speaking engagements with me. I got this dude working, man. He back in a place where he's happy. He's loving life. So I got him doing a whole lot of stuff. So absolutely.
All right, man. It's the squad coming to let you know. Don't live just to exist. Live to be remembered. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.